Tim, what can you tell us?
Well, Greeny, I just got done talking to Doc Rivers, and after Ben Simmons met with the team this morning, Doc went out of his way to frame this as a very positive step forward, saying multiple times today was a good day. And really, whenever he was asked for any kind of timeline in this situation, he went out of his way to say, look, I'm only focused on what's happening right now, and right now I'm focused on what happened this morning, which was a good thing for the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, obviously, this is the first time that Ben Simmons has really engaged with his teammates since coming back from missing the first couple weeks of training camp as he went through this holdout, trying to get traded away from the Philadelphia 76ers. And Joel Embiid, when I asked him on Tuesday if he talked to Ben Simmons at this point, told me that he hadn't. And so today was the first time they had any kind of dialogue at all. And that's another thing that Doc Rivers framed as a positive step forward, saying that he's focused on the possibilities of what's to come rather than focusing on the problem that's immediately at hand. So, look, this is obviously a rough situation for the Sixers. It's not something that they're happy about, but they're trying to frame this as a good step forward, and we'll wait and see where it goes from here.
All right, Tim Bontemps, thank you. We'll be with you all night long tonight as we get set for the game. We bring it out here, and Stephen A., I'll start with you. Obviously, the dynamic changes a little, but I think the primary question remains the same. Will Ben Simmons ever play for the Sixers again?
I can't see it. I truly cannot, Greeny, Will Bond, Jalen. Here's the deal. Certainly, it's a possibility because if you don't move him, you have to surmise that the guy's going to ultimately want to get his $33+ million per year, and at some time he'll have to come back for that. But by taking the position that he has taken and given indications, because the reports initially said when they came out this morning that he connected with the Sixers players, the Sixers staff, their medical staff. And so when you said medical and he has no injury to speak of, and then they brought into the issue his mental state of mind, well, then you're talking about mental health. And because of that, that sounds to me like the perfect way to depart from playing for the team while still ensuring you're getting paid. I'm in no way questioning. I'm not qualified to question the legitimacy as to whether it's true or not. None of us are doing that. What I'm saying is ultimately what it means is that you're not going to play, but you're still going to get paid because they're going to have a hard time taking your money from you.
I actually believe he does end up playing for the team again. Like, your actions have to equal getting towards your goals. And the Sixers and he ultimately want him moved. The only way that's going to happen is to rebuild his value. He lost it last year when they got bounced in the process to the Atlanta Hawks. So now he has to get back out there and play. They had a turbulent offseason. It's not just on him. I also blame Daryl Morey. When you get this job and you look at Ben Simmons' deal, you have to look at what me and you talked about. These two parts don't fit going long term.
Right.
So if you know you got to move them, it can't get to this point.
It's so toxic, though. I don't think he can rebuild his value by playing for the Sixers. How? His teammates don't want to play. Joel Embiid didn't want him there. So how can you rebuild the value? Yes, Jalen, you're right. That's what they hope for. But here's where, and Daryl Morey seemed to have all the leverage yesterday when he talked about this can go for 4 years. Mm-hmm. And you know who reclaimed some leverage today? Ben Simmons. Mm-hmm. Because when you think about what we've seen and heard from Naomi Osaka and Simone Biles, two people who are much greater in their respective sports than Ben Simmons is in his, much more accomplished as champions. You look at this and you say, okay, now Ben has talked about this. We have to listen. We have to take it seriously, even though we're just like Stephen A. said, none of us are qualified to question how legitimate this is. But once you have that out there, I said yesterday or 2 days ago it was a messy divorce. It just got messier. Mm-hmm. So now who's going to determine whether or not his mental situation right now, mental emotional situation, allows him to even get out there for the Philadelphia 76ers or any other team at this point?
I think the thing that we have to pay attention to, guys, is this. I'm not disagreeing with where y'all are coming from. I'm simply making the point that, again, if you're going to bring into issue mental health, and that's a reason that can be utilized for you to stay home while getting paid, and everybody and their grandmother knows he did not want to be on that court tonight for the Philadelphia 76ers because of that fan base and how they were going to greet him in light of the fact that they interpreted his actions throughout the offseason as blaming them for him not stepping up. That's some heat he didn't want to take. Doc Rivers is happy because all Doc Rivers wants from him is two things. Talk to your teammates, which he did today, and show up against those fans, which he has not done. And until he does that, that's the huge question mark. And where do you go? Where do you go?
But in losing, there's pain.
Yeah.
And Kawhi Leonard's shot broke their heart. And I always felt in watching Ben Simmons, there was a psychological block for a player so very skilled, so very talented, that doesn't attempt shots outside of the paint. That was extraordinary for a guy that played the point guard position.
All right, we'll talk much.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.